By many accounts, one of the most underrated home venues in all of the NFL resides in the heart of Nashville, Tennessee, and that's where we find ourselves at Nissan Stadium. The whole of downtown Nashville likely still reverberating with the sounds of the Titans taking the field a moment ago. They're ready for football as their Titans are set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up 2nd down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll try the left side. Rolling. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
Sliding out of the pocket. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Second and 11 now. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now a play fake, and here's Locke. Throwing left side, it's complete. And that last throw is going to keep him climbing that all-time passing yards leaderboard as he crosses the 25,000-yard mark now for his career.
He just recently passed Bart Starr. Next up for him, Bob Greasy. That's 2 Hall of Famers, 2 Super Bowl winners, multiple Super Bowl winners. So he's getting up with the legends now. Congratulations.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. Here's Locke. This is the tight end, Fant. Touchdown, Broncos. Noah Fant, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have taken the early lead.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Rosas good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's second down. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now the first carry for Darrington Evans. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. This defense for the Broncos, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Throwing on 1st down is Locke. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Jerry Jeudy, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Here's 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Gonna take a shot for Gallup. And that's gonna be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
The scoreboard tells a story for him, a little bit bleak, and while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close, but the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're gonna back up and make them really earn it.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw here. And this is caught by Watkins. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
You certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time: completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus, and indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Lock now on 1st down. Open man, he completes it to Judy. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
On 1st down, Locke completes it to Fant on the right side. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 5, here's 2nd and 2. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. Rosas good with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Out of the end zone, here comes Hightower. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Yeah, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. 2nd and 6. He's going to go for a big play downfield. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Titans. Anthony Schwartz, his first touchdown on the year. And the Titans are able to cut into that deficit.
Well, since we don't have a rooting interest in this one, neither one of us wanted to see this one get out of hand too early. Here we are in the first quarter. That was an important response for them to score, already down 21.
Point after, right down the middle. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Lock.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw it is Lock. Right back to Judy, and it's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st. So, Charles, you look at this offense. What a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 70 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run. I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a 1st down there to the tight end.
Play action. Now it's Lock. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Into the red zone, it's Lock. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a 2nd time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Hightower not going to attempt a run back, and his guys will begin at the 25. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do. We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. J.J. Watt, a milestone sack for him as it moves him past Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor, who finished his career with 132.5. Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19. Looking to throw. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. And now hang tight here. Following the play, still down on the ground, is A.J. Brown. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking...
There he goes, right side. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Jerry Jeudy with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Broncos continue to pull away here in this first half. Rosas good with the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Hightower not going to attempt a run back, and his guys will begin at the 25. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression.
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach. Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 36, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. After the turnover, here's Locke. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. To throw again on 2nd down. Locke. Now a leaping catch, he's got it. And down inside the 15 he goes. Well, they have certainly done their best to get him the football in this one as they hook up on another completion there. And maybe that lack of involvement, Charles, that's a thing of the past now.
Well, I think, partner, that's their love language with him, right?
Yeah, this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. Cortland Sutton, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos add on. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Out of the end zone, here comes Hightower. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And they've got less than 30 seconds to go here, so not a lot of time to work with. And this heads straight to the sideline. I don't think they're going to let him get away with that. Nope, they won't. Here comes the flag. In the pocket, chucked it away. Flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. On the left side, Gallup's got it. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. They go to Hillman on the screen. Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Titans going to get the ball to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back to it on EA Sports. Out of the end zone, here comes Hightower. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you just have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. That's caught once again by Gallup. And he's brought down.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll set up to throw. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
This is Hillman on 1st and 10. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now it's Hillman. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Titans are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit. Extra point splits the uprights. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Still well in control of this ball game, despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's going to be dropped following a pick up a 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. And now here's a carry heading left.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Check out, read. Check, crunch. Check three.
They run the counter. Rolling. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. This will be caught. Judy. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good. Soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another first down. My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
2nd and 10. On play action, Lock. That's going to be caught by Judy. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Jerry Judy, 52 yards. And the Broncos continue to pour it on. Rosas good with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. On 2nd down, Hillman. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 48 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. And sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
Back to throw now on 1st down. He'll dump it down to Hillman. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Second and 6. Back to the running game they go. It's Hillman. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. Now let's listen in on the call. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, he can't hold them.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
They'll roll him out right. Well, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Back to throw again. Got his man there complete to Gallup. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. 19 Tiger.
Now a toss right. This is Hillman. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. It's picked up by the Broncos. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable 4th quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery.
Check 26, check 26.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Locke. Rolling to his left. And he'll get this up to right around the 8-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And he'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
On 1st down, Roland. Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them. trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll keep it on the ground. Rolling. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 75 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Hey, check mark 16. Check mark 16. Coming to you. Coming to you. Undercrush. Undercrush. Undercrush.
On 3rd down. Rolling. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return, and it'll be Titan football. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
They keep it on the ground. Hillman. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to air one out. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a handoff. It's Hillman. Finds a seam inside the 40 and down to the 29-yard line.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory as they're down to the 29-yard line. Now back to throw. And incomplete. You know, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Back to throw. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They'll look to run with Hillman. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's it's out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
On second down now, Hillman, and somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Now the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down to 28. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive as they try to finish things off in this fourth quarter. And that current 5-game win streak looking like it's going to go to 6. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And the ball is knocked out, and that might be Titan football. It is. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
They'll run on first down with Evans. And some room to run now. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
So after a run like that, I will guarantee that the head coach is saying to himself, maybe even over his headsets to the rest of the staff, what was that all game long? We needed that. That's the type of run we planned for going into the game. Didn't get much of that, but let's move it forward. Let's build on it, get ready for the next week, and let's go play.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's a run for Hillman. The broken tackle could not free him as he's brought down at the 10-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
They're going to look to throw. Drops it off for Hillman. And it's a Titans touchdown from 10 yards out. And the Titans get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Broncos, they remain as hot as anyone at 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the Cleveland Browns. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL.